Hi, Brian from Veryfi. I'm here to give you a little introduction to our W-2 processing. We're going to talk a little bit about capturing the documents with our lens, and then very specifically about extracting the data out of US tax forms. And today specifically, we'll be using W-2s as our example documents. I'm over on my phone and I'm grabbing the Veryfi Lens demo app. And this allows developers to go and explore, as well as users to go in and capture documents and look at the extractions. So today we're going to be looking over on the left. This is our hub, and we'll be watching for W-2s to show up in our inbox that we're capturing here with Lens. W-2, I'm going to grab it here. It's a little bit better aspect ratio, but here you can see it's capturing it, submitting it. A couple of seconds, it's returning back to the app all of the data that it's extracted. So you see there, very, very quickly, we've come back with all of the information and all of the data that's relevant to that W-2 form. So let's grab one more. Again, what you'll note here is that I don't have to be 100% accurate. I can be at an angle. I can take the picture a little bit off. It's able to deskew that, rotate it, crop it, make it available for us to be able to explore later over in our hub. So if I refresh hub, we'll notice these documents are now showing up as being available. A couple of the things that you can also do is if the user happens to take a picture of something that's not a W-2, so in this case, I grabbed a couple random objects off my desk, the onboard model in Lens has determined that that's not a document and will prompt the user to try again. So now I can go through, put a W-2 in there, grab it, send it, off it goes into Hub. There are a number of things that as a developer you get to configure. So as I look over at the menus option here, lots of different configurations on how it behaves, whether you want to allow that submit on the try again or just always say try again until you get a document, colors and various different things, all available for your programmers in the SDK to be able to customize that user experience. But the key things of blur detection, document detection, cropping, optimizing the image and uploading, all of those are all available. So now we're going to focus primarily on being able to go through and use the system to investigate what was extracted. And some of the challenges that we have on W-2s are that there's checkboxes. On some of the other tax forms like a W-9, there's signatures. There may be multiple values for various different fields. So this dedicated endpoint creates the key value pairs for all of the data that's extracting. So employer name, employer address, control number, EIN, all of this information is pulled out and it's returned to you as a programmer as a JSON file. So in this case, you'll see that we've got all of the fields that are available on the W-2 form, all pulled out. And some of the more complex ones like checkboxes. So box 13, the center one is checked. You'll see that we've got 3 different fields for box 13. 13B is now true, meaning that it's checked. Complex fields like 12, 12A, 12B, 12C, 12D, right? Again, we have all of the fields in there and we're able to then extract the first half of it, which is the letter code, the second half, which is the value. So we've pulled that all very accurately and very tailored to things like W-2s. So looking at another one, this is the second one that we grabbed. In this case, it's got multiple states. So I may have several different states that are available to pull off of. And you'll notice here what we've done is we've got a states object, which has all of the data that's pulled out as part of that. So now we can go in and very quickly get each state's object in there if there's more than one. So that should give you a little idea of what the output JSON and all of those key value pairs are that we're extracting from W-2s. And definitely there's some complexity there. We also notice that some of these follow slightly different formats. So what we may find is that there are additional layouts that we find because not everybody uses the same exact layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop an additional file in here. So this is showing you a little example of where I don't have to do it through Lens. If the user has a way to email it, if they can drag and drop it from the desktop, they have an existing image in there. But here again, you can see that this is a much different looking file. It's back from 2019, a sample we grabbed off of the web, but we're still able to very accurately extract, pull all of that information out, even though it's in a much different format than what you saw from the IRS form. We then also provide you with the thumbnail and the PDF URLs so that you have these cropped and rotated images available for you to display if you need to. Let's take a look at what a little bit of the behind the scenes. I want to show you our OCR API, and this is what Lens is calling in the background. I'm on the interactive API tab, and I'm going to scroll down to our W-2s. So in this case, there's a couple of things that I can do. I can just process a singular W-2. This is exactly what the drag and drop and the Lens are doing behind the scenes. We also give you the ability to get a list of, or a list for a particular set of dates, a particular W-2, update a W-2, or delete a W-2. So all of those are all available. And in this case, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what's happening in the background. So here we're going to go ahead and process a single W-2. And in this case, we'll grab one of these ones that we've already done and send that off from the API. So this is what's happening when you hit the submit button in Lens or the drag and drop action happens. Here we were able to get back in a little under 2.5 seconds all of those key value pairs for that particular file. So that's what the API call looks like. You can always go in and look at this at the curl level or at various different API levels to be able to get a flavor for if you're using different SDKs or different programming languages. Another question that we often get is, what if I have multiple W-2s in a single file? So in this case, I've got W-2 set. This is 3 different W-2s, all in the same PDF file. And what I'm expecting is that this is then going to split that set into 3 separate files, send a webhook call to my system, letting me know that it's processed it. So here I'm going to go ahead and grab that W-2 set and execute the API call. And you'll notice here that it's now created an ID and it's in progress. If I do get documents from that W-2, put that ID in, you'll see now for that one, it's finished processing and it's extracted 3 different documents as part of that document set. So there were 3 files in the PDF. We've now extracted 3. And as a developer, I've now gotten a webhook call letting me know that that's completed. So as soon as that's done and the status goes from processing to completed, you get a webhook call. You now know to go in and get 3 different IDs to get the JSON files. And again, if I pop over into Hub, right, it's now then added those 3 documents in for me to view and visualize. Note that you also have all of the information available on the docs section of that. So if you want to look at example code, so if you're programming PHP, Java, Ruby, on Rails, Python, Go, right, we have examples in there that you can cut and paste and try out. So I hope that gave you a good understanding of the W-2 processing for US tax forms. If you have any questions, you can always email info@veryfi.com. Thanks a bunch.